and welcome back. In this video, we're going to put in place the pickup system. So when an enemy will die, there will be a certain percentage of chance that he will drop a pickup. Then we'll have to choose a random pickup between our 4 possible weapons. We'll then instantiate the random pickup at the position of the dead enemy. When the player then collides with that pickup, it will destroy the pickup, destroy the current weapon that the player has equipped, and it will instantiate the new weapon. Let's get that working. Inside of the sprites folder, I'm going to select the weapons and I'll press on the little arrow, and then I will choose one of the weapons and I'll drag and drop it onto the scene. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to add is a box collider 2D because we will have to detect collisions between the player and the pickup. So I'm just going to go to add component and I'll add a box collider 2D. We'll then create and add the pickup C# script. Alright, so first of all, we need to create a public weapon variable that will store the weapon that this pickup will equip. So I'm going to create a public weapon variable and I'll call it weapon to equip. I'm now going to create my void on trigger enter 2D function to be able to detect collisions. I'll then check if the object that we collided with had the tag of player. If it did, then we want to destroy the current player's weapon, we want to instantiate the weapon to equip, and finally we want to destroy the pickup. So to do that, I'm going to go inside of my player script and create a function to do so. I'm going to create a public void function called change weapon. This function will take as a parameter a weapon variable called weapon to equip. So what this function is going to do is simply destroy the game object that has the tag of weapon in the game. So we'll have to remember to add the weapon tag to every single one of our weapons. And after that, we'll simply instantiate the new weapon, so weapon to equip. We're going to instantiate it at the current position of the player, so transform.position, and the current rotation, so transform.rotation. And then we'll pass in a 4th parameter, which is the parent object. So what do we want to equip the weapon to? And we just want to equip it to the current transform of the player, so I'll just write transform. Awesome, so now we could go back inside of our pickup script and we will simply call that function. So I'll say collision.getComponent player to get the player script on our collided object, and I'll call the change weapon function, and I'll pass in my weapon to equip. Once we have swapped our weapons, I can simply destroy the pickup by saying destroy game object. Awesome, so we can save the script and test if this works out inside of Unity. Alright, so with my pickup selected, I will first of all press the is trigger button to make it a trigger collider. And then I will drag and drop the correct weapon onto the weapon to equip slot. I will then go inside of the tag drop down and add a new tag for the weapon. I can then select all 4 of my weapons and add the weapon tag to them. So now let's press the play button and see if this works. Alright, so I've got this flame-like weapon equipped. Now if I collide with the pickup, we'll see that my weapon got destroyed, the pickup got destroyed, and now I've got this new weapon equipped. Alright, that works perfectly. Now the last thing we have to do is to add some code to the enemy script so that when the enemy dies, there will be a random chance that the enemy drops a pickup. Alright, so let's do that right now. The first variable I'll make is a public integer called pickup chance. This variable will be between 0 and 100. So if you choose 0, that means that there will be no chance that a pickup will spawn, and if you choose 100, that means that every single time the enemy dies, there will be a pickup that will get instantiated. We'll also create a public game object array called pickups. So this variable here will contain all 4 of our pickups. After that, I'll go inside of my take damage function and then inside of the if statement, checking if the health is less or equal to 0, which means if the enemy died. So before we destroy the game object, I'll first of all create a integer variable called random number, and I'll set it equal to a random number between 0 and 101. So we're using 101 and not 100 because random.range excludes the last number. So if we really want a number between 0 and 100, we have to add 1 to the last number. I'll then check if the random number is smaller than the pickup chance. So if that is true, if the random number is smaller than the pickup chance, that means that we should spawn a pickup. So the next thing that we should do is to pick a random pickup from the pickups array that we created a few moments ago. So this will be the same code that we use inside of the wave spawner script. I'll simply create a game object variable called random pickup, and I'll set it equal to the pickups array with a index of a random number, so random.range between 0 and pickups.length. I will then instantiate the random pickup at the position and rotation of the enemy. Okay, so that done, I could save the script and test it all out inside of our game editor. Now all you have to do is follow the steps that we used for the first pickup, so that means just add a box collider 2D to the pickup and add the pickup script, and then drag and drop the correct weapon onto the weapon to equip slot. You can then drag and drop all 4 of your pickups inside of the prefabs folder. Once you have created prefabs out of your 4 pickups, you can safely delete them from the scene. Now all you have to do is select every single one of your enemies, choose a pickup chance, and then drag and drop your 4 pickups. Note that if you want more chance that a certain pickup shows up, you can simply create a 5th element and add the pickup 1, for example. So there will be more chance that the pickup 1 will show up because it shows up twice inside of the array. So now if we press the play button, this should all be working. For now I've got this flamey weapon equipped. Now let's kill the bad guys and see if they drop any pickups. Perfect, so 2 pickups just dropped from that wave. Now let's collide with it and change our weapon. Awesome, so it worked perfectly. And now let's change this weapon to this one here, and that works also. Okay, great. Okay, so that marks the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Great job.